Good evening, everybody.
What up?
This is what we live for.
That's what I say. How's everybody doing this evening?
I'm doing pretty good. We got Corey.
What's up, Court?
We got New Jersey Watchman.
And Jay, what's up?
We got Savage Broadcasting.
Hey, Savage.
We got Upstate.
Upstate.
And we got John DeNicola.
What's up, John? Oh, John's muted.
John's muted.
Evening, all. Evening, guys.
Oh, yeah. Figured out it was a button on the left, huh? Dorian, good to see you.
Dorian. Much love. What's happening? What's happening? Something's always happening, NJ. Something's always happening. You know how it goes out on these streets.
Brandon Mitchell.
We got West Side. We got Brandon Mitchell. Yeah, we've always got something going on these streets, don't we, good citizen John? We've always got something going on.
And tonight, guys, we kind of thought maybe doing a show kind of about the checks and balances, right? And how they're working or not working. Is that something you guys might be interested in?
Well, come on, let's get a little bit deeper into it. Do the checks and balances actually work if government protects government?
Yeah. Fair assessment.
Yeah, man. Oh yeah, NJ, we'll definitely get with you on that, brother. Been busy. I'll try to make time. Maybe even like a morning show or something. John and I can review it over on my channel or something, bro. Be my pleasure. Hi, Margate. Good to see you.
Evening, Margate.
John DeNicola. That's right. Live in person.
And let's not forget to thank our sponsor, Samson.
Yeah, that's right. Paid for by Samson, guys. Thanks to our sponsor, Angie Burks. Good to see you. Yeah, man. So when it comes to checks and balances, we see how it should work, and we know how it should work, and we kind of are like elbow deep in it daily, and dealing with the different aspects of the checks that create the balance. And it's not easy to deal with these different layers of government to get them to hold the government accountable, right? So even to the simplest things, like here in Colorado for Cora, they repealed 206, which is the section that allows you to hold them accountable. Like the checks and balances, guys, like that seems off to me. I mean, and that's just one small example, right? Like, so we can request, but if they don't answer, oh well, you only just have civil. You can take them to court civilly. It's not a crime for them to break the law of not fulfilling the Cora in the manner they should.
And you kind of bring up a pretty good point too, because they say your only recourse is the civil suit against a town that doesn't obey. But even with that, there's still no checks and balances, because you could win in the district court level. They appeal it. They could losing the appeal level, and then they appeal it again to I believe, the 10th Circuit or the Supreme Court of Colorado. And again, here we are. Now, all of this is being paid for by tax dollars. And if you're the one that's suing and you have to go through all of that,
Right.
what, where's the justice?
Right. And so to Brandon's comment, I mean it is funny, dude, like cuz very rarely do we actually see it, right? Like it's not common that we see it. I mean, we do see it. Like it's just not common. We see more commonly that we don't see it, right? So like right now, I mean this was national news right here. I mean, this is this was the CBI and other agencies, we'll leave unnamed for now, that that well, they're holding this woman in the court of law. What's going to come from that, we still don't know, right? Innocent until proven guilty in the court of law, right? Treat her just the same as anybody else, okay? But she's been accused of 26,000 so far. So, but at the same time, if you hop over to like the incident we're dealing with right now in Rocky Ford with the fire chief and the mayor and a few others, again, we'll leave unnamed because it's kind of still under a little bit of investigation. So like the DA just decides not to pick up charges, right? Because it's government. Nobody's putting charges. Walsenburg, they just caught their utility department scamming a bunch of money, and those guys are on leave, right? Like nothing happens, no accountability, right? Because the checks and balances seem to be broken. I mean, that's my take on it. It's very rarely do we actually see these people held accountable, and even when they end up like this, it doesn't mean they're going to end up serving justice. You know, we've yet to see that on many levels, justice being served.
Many levels. No, I mean, come on. We've seen a little bit of justice served within the work that we've done between Arizona, Colorado, and
Yeah,
John in Massachusetts. I mean,
yeah,
we know that it's possible to
right,
take these people out of their roles,
right.
but if
Why
they
is it so hard,
stay
and
out of
why does
their
it take
roles,
so
that's
long,
another
though? Right?
issue.
That's the issue to me is why does it take so long, and why does it take so much work? It's like we got to do their jobs for them most of the time, man. And then he gets to the DA and he's like, "Oh, I don't think I'm going to pick up these charges."
Well,
Or you get a sheriff's department that says, "Well, we're contracted with them, so that's a conflict of interest. We can't do anything to them." Knowing
Yeah.
damn well that this shit was going on, right? Like
right.
like they know damn well that these charges was happening.
And
You know?
it kind of brings up another issue too, because they claimed that it was a conflict of interest for them to get involved because they had an intergovernmental agreement with the town of Aguilar. So if you're going to be fielding complaints from that region, and there's a conflict of interest, wouldn't you have a separate agency come in and investigate it? But that
Right,
never happened here.
right. What's up, Bob? Good to see you. Yeah, and it continued on for years and years and years, even after it had been exposed. Uh,
Yeah.
and then obviously in that situation left the town just in shambles. I mean, 100% shambles. because it had been going on for so long. And when it all came to a head, it came to a head, right? So
Yeah. Ion Margate, I'm sorry, buddy. I gave you a wrench, but I accidentally clicked the wrong thing, so it hid your comments. I'm sorry. I unhid you and I gave you a wrench. They really need to move the moderator thing away from the hide this user on channel button. Like they need to put it up at the top or something.
yeah, yeah.
At least it's not the mute button down on the left.
So
Right.
so like we touched on it the other day at my channel, me and John, like the emails we got about Dwayne's records, right? The mayor of Rocky Ford, right? That CBI investigation involved. But well, we made a mistake. Those records were supposed to be sealed, so we're just gonna have to pass on giving those to you, you know.
And that kind of brings up the other point, which is the chief of police at the time of that whole investigation that ended up going to CBI was trying to do the right thing because the fire chief was accessing a system he shouldn't have been accessing, and supposedly, allegedly, possibly was trying to, in some way, shape, or form, uh, get a hold of a dispatch call that was made involving a domestic violence issue. Now, I don't know about you, but I think that that's a matter of public interest when something like that happens. This is somebody who is running a, a city.
Oh,
So
and he's
don't you
running
think
for
that's in the public's
reelection,
best interest to know what kind of person is running this city?
and he's running for
Now,
reelection.
if
More
the
importantly, right?
again, they keep telling us, let it play out in court, right? So they could have let his case play out in court, and if he wasn't guilty, okay, you got a not guilty verdict, you could prance it around the neighborhood. So why not let the process play out? Why try to hide it? I mean, these are questions that should have been asked, but can't, for some reason, aren't being asked. And the
Well,
guy that was
they've
supposed
known
to
about it.
prosecute this stuff
They've known
decided
about it
not
for
to.
a year, at least a year, right? So it's been under wraps for at least a year. So I don't know what they're gonna do.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, he's having issues hearing us. Is that
Sorry,
better?
guys, I keep losing audio. I can't hear you guys at all.
Can you hear
So
us
it's on
now?
my end. Maybe.
I don't know. If not, then it's definitely your end. Because we can hear you and we can hear each other. So I think it might be a year end thing. You got to turn your hearing aid up.
Oh, snap.
Hey, they won't be in for 2 weeks. Leave me alone.
Killing me over here.
Hook 'em, Dano.
Yeah, man. I mean, we see it over and over, though, is the point, right? It's like, why is it so hard to get the government that everybody assumes is keeping the checks and balances to keep the checks and balances? And why does it all have to be behind some fucking iron curtain?
Well, usually it's only behind the iron curtain when there's stuff going on behind the scenes.
You people, did you ever see the body cam video from Nicole defending the Gobin building over there? I mean, she defended the place. She just did her job and blah, blah, blah. So you'd think that video they'd be happy to usher that to us on a fucking red carpet, dude. But
what are you talking about? That never happened.
Yeah, exactly, dude. Like say the iron curtain.
Yeah, those criminal charges that were plastered all over the Otero County Court website, those were never there. We didn't see them. We didn't screenshot them. We don't know what they are.
Right. Never existed. Yeah, that's the way it's going. And
wait, don't forget there were no police reports,
right.
and there was no citation issued on scene.
Right. Waltenberg's been that way too. They've been, iron curtaining us. We're the sheriff's department here in Warfano County. We're still waiting on requests there. I mean, dude, it's crazy, dude, because they probably would make money off us if they could actually answer a request within 10 days for just one time in their fucking career, you know? But with,
Well,
again, back to the beginning, with 206 being repealed, what incentive do they have to do it? Because they know we're going to have to get the lawyer, go through all this bullshit, and then the insurance is going to pay the claim. Again, no accountability. You know?
well, not only the insurance, but it's your tax money that's paying that insurance company. So either way, you're still paying it.
Yeah. I mean,
And and that does kind of bring up a pretty solid point as far as, let's start where we should start. I mean, this trickles from the top down. I mean, if you reach out to the attorney general and you ask them to try and open an investigation into issues relevant to these different counties and cities that we've been dealing with, they tell you to reach out to CBI. Well, you go reach out to CBI. CBI goes, well, we don't have the authority to start an investigation based off the word of a member of the public. You got to go to the attorney general.
and
So,
how about when you go to get public information and you have to sign a pecuniary agreement?
not pecuniary.
Pecuniary.
And listen, you know what's funny about that?
It's like
What's funny about that is nowhere in the statute for Cora does it state that you have to sign a notarized pecuniary gain. But yet, I was asked to do that. Why? And to make matters worse,
and my question is, are they doing that to all forms of media? Because if so, then they're 100% stepping on everybody's First Amendment there, because it is of public interest. It is public information, and they're trying to bulldog people into thinking that they can't disseminate it. Same as like the sign on the PD in the town hall and shit, dude. I had somebody today say to me, "Oh, you're not allowed to record in there." And again, they believe that because this sign reads that, even though there's no law to back it up, and they can't say what they'll charge us with, but
we
people
keep asking.
are scared to record their interactions with these people who have been found of doing fucked up shit over and over again, and people would like to hold them accountable, but they're being bulldogged out of it in a lot of cases, or iron curtain over and over.
And, and again, to kind of add insult to injury, the city attorney's okay with it. You would think, as an officer of the court, knowing that they're violating the law, that he'd be going, listen, guys, as much as
Oh,
you want to do that, you
oh,
can't.
but we've seen that before too, though, right? If you get that opposite end of the spectrum, where the lawyer is like, "Hey, these guys are right. That's public. You need to give it to them." They just replaced the fucking attorney. It's fucked up.
You're not wrong. And it's funny because there was a gentleman, and I'm going to throw his name out there, Nathan Schultz, and in my estimation, one of the better attorneys that served different municipalities. And I don't think and again, I'm speculating, but in a lot of the municipalities that he was giving us our records that we were entitled to, he no longer works. And I don't know whether that had to do with us or not. If it did, Nathan, I apologize, because again, you are one of the better attorneys out there. You were willing to give the public what they deserve to see. And it's unfortunate that people like the attorney here in Walsenburg, who also, by the way, served in 23 in Walsenburg and decided to resign, not only from there, but from the town of Aguilar. Kind of raises some red flags, but, you
Right.
know,
Yeah, because we already have the information that there's money missing from Aguilar all the way back to 2017. We know that none of their books are codified. Like it's all a sham over there, and he assisted in all that to get to where it was. He
well, in
might not
our
have been there
opinion.
when they got busted, but he led them right into there. And we have recordings of him saying, "All I can do is advise them." So
And again, I mean, and the other thing too is I've had a conversation with him regarding the signs that were in the front of that building, and he knows that they're unlawful and illegal, and he's okay with that. And this is the
right.
reason why I think a bar complaint is due on this gentleman. I'm
Yeah.
sorry, but you cannot knowingly violate not only the state constitution, the U.S. Constitution, but violate state law as an officer of the court, and you expect us to sit back and take that? I'm
and
sorry,
and
sir.
all and all
Sadly
to stop
mistaken.
all that is to stop transparency. That's the only goal. That's the only mission is to stop transparency on an investigation that just happened a few months ago. I mean, people were pissed. They should still be pissed because that's money they're going to all have to pay back. That's still on the debt. They owe a huge debt for the utilities, and that's all money that didn't go to pay that debt and that their kids could be paying on, even, right? But again, nothing happened with that. It's just swept under the
But
rug.
but
Nobody can
that
go in and hold them accountable, you know.
but that brings us back to
And that all
this.
happened with the new chief, right, John? That was the chief. That was all came with the chief around that time.
That is true.
But that wasn't the reason they give us, right?
No.
Because we got some evidence. We got some evidence from the old administrator. He was receiving death threats, guys. And so they needed to lock the building down from cameras
And
because
and
this
you know,
guy received death threats.
And you know,
So,
it's funny because that was the reason I was, at least my opinion, yet again, just my opinion, but that was the reason that I was removed from the public meeting during my public comment, was because I pointed out something that maybe the chief of police just couldn't see in 2 feet in front of his face. I don't know, but I pointed out the fact that the person, they claimed that they were getting threats for the town hall, but the person that got the threat in a text message to his personal cell phone. The only way that they would have his personal cell phone number is if they knew him. And I pointed this out, and I got removed from the meeting not too far after that. So, again, you know, these are the excuses government will make, but yet they won't correct.
right. Because somebody with the camera is the threat in that threat.
Yeah, not them setting up water deals for their family and friends and whoever else. No, that's not criminal. You can't
What's
keep
up,
an eye
Dirk?
on that. You can't keep an eye to make sure that they're not spending that money right. And let's go into another one that we kind of touched on yesterday, which is, the Division of Health and Human Services over there, where the director and a number of others resigned.
Oh
You
man,
know,
I've got more information to come out with on that too, John. You're gonna love it. I'm sorry I haven't told nobody about it yet, but yeah, you're
but
gonna
I
love
mean,
what's coming from that one.
well, from all appearances, right now, they were given a huge sum of money, right, by the state and federal government. And from what we can tell, about 8% of it is being spent on the people. It's going to raise a lot of questions as to where the rest of the money went. A lot.
Well, who's gonna call for the investigation?
Well, see, that's the problem, right? Because clearly the city administrator, he's not going to want to do that. He's not going to have to, he's not going to take that to a board of commissioners and say, hey, we need to do this, because that would be admitting that they did something wrong.
well, they're gonna have to. Somebody's gonna have to call for it. I mean, or it's just not gonna happen. It didn't happen the last time we had to fire the director either. So I'm not
Listen,
expecting it
the
this time.
the chief of police in Rockyford called for an investigation. He asked his captain, and I think captain at the time, Carol Coates, to launch that investigation. And because of whatever investigation she did or did not do, he forwarded the information he had to CBI, who did an investigation. And again, they sent their findings to, oh, wait, the DA.
Right, and we're
Who's
waiting on
that?
those files. We have that
Who,
requested.
who was it? Remind me again who the DA was.
And just imagine after 10 days, it's gonna be free if they don't get their shit together. I'm just saying, but yeah, we already made a request for that stuff. And yeah, Bullock out there, I believe, would have been the DA.
Hey, ain't that some shit? Because that's the same guy we sent our complaint to regarding the issues that we were having with the Cora and the prior restraint complaints that we had. Where the officers were violating state law. We had a chief of police unlawfully remove somebody from a public building during a public meeting while they were recording, and because they were recording. Amazing how that works. I guess, when you bring these complaints that are actual complaints, and they should be, charges filed against not only these officers, but even the chief of police, and they go, sorry, because that's exactly what he said to CBI. I don't see anything. I'm not going to do anything with this.
Right, and he decided to not pick up the charges. And again, so I mean that's the checks not working to keep the balance, right? Like, and what do we do to fix that? I guess, right? Because we see it so often. Now they'll run you through court for not using a fucking turn signal, but these people are fucking with systems that they ain't even supposed to be accessing. Okay, they're stealing money, manipulating bills, all this other shit, and they don't get charged. But don't use your fucking turn signal or have a tag light out or something, and you're going to court, motherfucker. The DA is gonna get you.
I saw one today where the guy was stopped for
Come on.
smoking a cigarette in a park. We the the Fourth Amendment has ceased to exist in the eyes of law enforcement, in my opinion. Today, you know, you can't shake a stick without seeing a cop crossing onto somebody's property, being told to leave by the homeowner, and them saying, "No, I'm going to do what I want to do because I'm wearing this gun, I'm wearing this badge, and even if I'm wrong, I'm not going to have to worry about it because there's no repercussions to me.
Ever.
I'm going to run you through the system. You may get out of that system. You may come after me financially, but nothing's going to happen to me."
Hey, Marn. Yeah, they get away with the shit, dude. And that's what I'm saying. The checks and balances, dude. Like they keep taking it easy on all these government officials and shit like that, dude. Like instead of making examples out of them, you know, like it's just wild to me. Like I guess if you want a life of crime, get into politics and government, and we'll seal your records.
Well, let me.
We'll
eh,
hide all the information. You'll be protected under our iron curtain, and you can do no wrong.
well, look at it this way. How about this? Here's a great example. Ryan Sellens used to be a deputy for Benton County Sheriff's Department. Ryan Sellens and a partner go to California, Riverside, California, to pick up a prisoner. Sellens' partner is FaceTiming his girlfriend, who apparently at some point or another Sellens had a relationship with. He flips out, beats the ever living daylights out of this guy, puts this guy in the hospital. Um, the guy's blind in one eye. He's got broken ribs. He's got all kinds of crap. I mean, they charged him. I think they had him with what, 6 felonies, guys? Am I even in the ballpark? And they give this guy a diversion program. He's bailed out by the sheriff, by the way. $250,000 bond. They post $25,000 cash, and the funds are questionable as to where they come from with the sheriff. They bail him out. They bring him back down to Colorado. They take his badge away, but they never prosecuted him in California. They gave him a diversion program. About less
That
than a
should be
year.
complete. That should be complete by now. He's probably already back
Well,
back in the streets.
there's more. There's more to the story, though, right? Because then we hear this name come up again before the diversion program goes out, and his name comes up in an unusual situation where a 16-year-old unalived himself with a firearm. But the reports are, and again, these are alleged, that the firearm was sold to him by this former deputy. The brother apparently.
And the reports don't have the serial number in it. Weird enough.
Well, it's funny because we were denied those because they claimed that because the young man was a minor, that we weren't entitled to it. And my response to that was, I'm not looking for any information pertaining to the young man. I am looking for the name of the owner of the firearm and what kind of firearm. Because if this gentleman's name is being brought up in this unaliving, why wasn't he charged? Because I don't know about anybody else, but I don't remember anywhere in America that you can sell a 16-year-old a firearm. Maybe I'm wrong.
Anywhere. I don't know, man. And I wish they had an iron curtain us on that so we would have been able to get a little more information. But again, that's something that should be a check and balance. That shouldn't be our responsibility to follow up on that.
And it's funny you should say that, the checks and balances are off. Here's where it's even funnier. The same department, Benton County Sheriff's Office, has an escaped prisoner, right? Bolt out a side door, okay? No deputies are running body cameras because according to the emails that we have, there's no body camera footage. There's no dash camera footage from any of the deputies that went to capture this woman. The two cameras that are on the Benton County Sheriff's building looking over the area that she escaped from, according to them, weren't working. Now, this is a jail, folks. How do the cameras in a jail not work? But yet, they broke the law, which is the state law, where they're supposed to be running their dash cameras. They're supposed to be running their body cameras. And surely those cameras on the building should have been working. But nobody was held accountable.
Right. They refused the information other than the one camera, and no one cares to do anything about it. Again, this is all things, so in that instance, just the body cameras alone, that should be a post offense, which is they could easily be suspended up to a year. They went and apprehended somebody that escaped and failed to turn their body cameras on.
Well, it's funny you
I
should
find
say.
it hard to believe they never flipped their lights on, because most units, when you flip on the lights, that automatically activates the dash cam. So you tell me nobody turned on their lights either, because they said there was no dash cam, no body cam, and only that one video of her running out, and that video was tampered with. It had a skip in the time. We watched the numbers, and there's I don't even know how long was missing, I forget, but there was definitely a blip in there where the lady disappeared off the fucking screen in mid stride, dude. It was fucked up. So that footage was tainted.
And it took us how long to get that too?
Right. Over a year.
Yeah.
And it was for public dissemination. And they
And
knew
it was
that.
a fight. It was a fight. It always is, because
Right.
again, they and the thing is no matter which place you go to, they're not going to help you. And it's funny because you brought up Post, because you know we tried to report these things to Post, and Post said we can't take complaints from civilians. So, where do you go when the checks and
No.
balances are set up for the people,
Right.
right? Or supposedly for the people, and the people that are gatekeeping it are the people that are supposed to be working for you. Not only working for you, but these are the people that are supposed to be showing you what's going on.
Myron.
Oh man, dude.
Sorry guys. I had a very important phone call
Yeah,
there
we
I had to
figured you
take.
took a shit, man, like double deuce or something, bro. That was forever.
No, I'm sorry. I had a very
38
important phone
minutes into
call that
the
I
show
had to take.
on your channel,
L-
and where you been,
Listen,
bro?
listen, I understand the show is important, but we had we had John here. I figured you guys could handle it while I
Well,
talk
and we
to
got
an
Myron in the
informant.
chat trolling
Yeah,
us.
now it's your turn, Josh. Go ahead.
Okay.
Your turn. Go.
My turn for what?
Keep up, man. You got to answer Myron's question. Yeah.
4 men escaped, and from there, and all of them ultimately ended up unalive. Yeah, that was Bent County.
All right, keep going.
Remind me again, just because, if we're going to go there, we might as well go all the way. How many escapes have they had in the last 2 years? I think close to 7 to 9, between 7 and 9.
I do
Somewhere.
believe it was between 7 and 9.
Well, and they
Yeah.
openly admit to fucking violating the inmates' rights and shit, dude. And again, no checks and balances, dude. They expect these people to self-report, right? Like excessive force. You pull your fucking taser, you're supposed to report that shit to CBI. They don't. They fucking don't. You know? Like, and who's gonna make them do it? I mean, we can't stand over them all fucking day everywhere and fucking, that's ridiculous.
Well,
But I mean, come on, man.
I don't understand that. I don't understand how they're held in a higher power. They're supposed to be the role models, right? They're supposed to be the trustworthy person that we put that badge on, and yet they're some of the most corrupt people that I've ever run into. And the fact that there is no accountability on their end, but God forbid if you spit on the sidewalk. Like you don't even like really have to do anything. You just spit on the sidewalk. God forbid you spit on the fucking sidewalk. You're locked up. Like nothing happens to these guys.
Drive with no plates, dude. They'll tow your shit. They'll fucking put you in jail, blah, 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 blah. But again, dude, they steal thousands and thousands of dollars, iron curtain us, and the DA don't pick up charges. This is crazy to me, dude. The DAs are elected. So I mean, obviously you can go about it that way, but there has to be a way to deal with it now, not just at the polling box, right? Like,
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, and I mean, maybe it's the size that we're dealing with in Colorado. And by the size, I mean like the size of the towns, right? Because a lot of the places that we're dealing with out there, roughly, I think the most that they would employ is about 12 officers. Some places, the most that they'll employ that we've seen is like 4 officers, as little as 4 officers to patrol a town. So that should tell you how big that town is. It's like Mayberry, but
yeah, Mayberry.
you know what I'm saying?
Wow,
But I mean, like it. I think it's the size and scope, because then you get to like places. Let's just take Tucson for example. Tucson, there's thousands of cops, right? There's at least 10 different police departments stashed around Tucson. So, but you can make things happen out here. It works differently in a big city compared to small towns, in my opinion. It really does, especially when um, pretty much everybody knows everybody. And we were talking about that earlier. Me and Good Citizen and John were talking about that earlier. That we think that it just stings people a little bit more when it's their family members doing it, and
their friends, yeah.
their friends.
And I mean, like, we went to school together, or this, that, or the other, right? There's like that small town out here, at least in Colorado. It's very rural. So all these towns are rural. And I'm down in the south. New Mexico is not far from me. And again, they're rural as well. So there's no like big cities around here. But, we're looking at, I think Trinidad has 22 police officers. Walsenburg has 12 or 14 now. I think it's 12. It's so like, yeah, smaller departments. They're not huge, right? But as far as the governments and everything like that goes, there's only so big of a pool to choose from. So we see it over and over with the different councils and like the commissioners and all this. It's just the same old people usually playing the game, right? Or
Well,
friend and family.
it's like not even that. It's like you have no pool to pick from, right? So like again, you take a big town, you've got hundreds, maybe thousands of people to choose from for these roles. Whereas you go into these small towns and you've only got so many people for these roles.
Right. Like let's take Stephanie and Aguilar as a great example. Like, what actual certifications or qualifications does that lady have? Right?
Well, I don't think that she's ever said that she had any like real certifications. Wasn't she only supposed to be there part-time?
Well, in most places, administrative, like an administrator, say, as a position, a lot of them have to have education, um, to even be considered. But out this way, that doesn't really matter, right? Even like Huerfano County, our administrator there, he at least went to school for business. Like he's educated, you know.
Hey,
Um,
Lori.
what's up, Lori? Yeah,
Yeah.
so it's like he
And
at least
and
has an education. But I'm not saying she doesn't have education. I'm asking, what does she have? Like, I don't think they've ever told us any certifications that she's had, or any degrees, or any kind of education other than
but
the
let me
local
ask you this. Let me ask you this though, right? So what if, for the sake of argument, what if that person that was working in that position either had an issue where they were out of that job for a while, whether they were stealing or they were using drugs and they had to get clean, whatever the case may be? Wouldn't that change your mind as to putting that person in that job?
Well, and again, you've only got
well,
so many people,
and,
John.
and,
Like,
and hold on, because I know exactly the case that John's referring to here. I think you do too, you people. We've touched on it way back in the past. When we first showed up, one of the ladies was just getting back. She'd been gone for months. Okay.
later,
So
Brendan.
um if you have to leave your job to, either you're, like John said, stealing money or hooked on drugs, and they have to put you on a type of leave, that's why it's supposed to be on the books through the meetings to say, oh, administrative leave, like they just recently did with Sarah Porras. She was on unpaid administrative leave. Right now, there's a record of that. Can we show a record of that when that happened prior to either of those incidents or other incidences like it? No. So therefore, it's not even a stain on her record at this point, John, because all of the council in Aguilar failed their duties. All of them. Just the same as how all of them kept agreeing every single fucking meeting to pay the bills. Like it was going to be a government shutdown situation if they said, wait a minute, we're not paying this or this because that's fucked up and that shouldn't have been paid out, right?
Well, see, here's where you're mistaken. When they were saying that they were going to pay the bills, they meant their bills, not yours.
I guess, either way, I'm just saying they all voted. That is on the record. We can prove those things on the record. Right. So have a good night, Brandon. Yeah, so it's those things for sure we could prove on the record. The other things I don't think are on the record is my point. So how could you use that? How could you use that as a judgment on the position if it wasn't documented by the former entrusted?
I'll put it to you this way: I have been trying tooth and nail to get a copy of the amount of money that was paid to Ken Torres for writing the grant for the augmentation bonds.
Can you tell me? Can you tell me a good answer as to why the board in Aguilar still has not called for a criminal investigation into any of those people, knowing that Tyra just got found, just got charged with all those crimes? Has anybody heard the board say anything about that?
And why haven't they said anything about it?
Exactly.
And why is nobody asking these questions?
Not a single person has made the motion, and any of them are able to make the motion freely.
Including Mr. Vern Thorne.
Yes, including Vern Thorne. Would he get a second? I don't know.
Probably not.
I would put it on the record myself calling for a criminal investigation, knowing the scope of what's going on there, and that's the only thing that would save the fucking town is proving that these acts weren't done out of malfeasance, but were done out of these sole criminal acts on these people, right? Because then maybe the government might save their fucking ass and bail them out once they say, oh, it was this group, they did this, we caught them, they are being punished. It shouldn't affect the whole town because of this group right here that conspired to do these things to the town, right? I don't know.
No, that makes sense.
I don't know. I mean, I think that would save the town. I think that's the only hope Aguilar specifically has right now, is to prove that this was done through criminal behaviors by these few and not by the masses. And if they're scared at this point, it looks like they're scared they'll be in trouble if they call for the criminal investigation. And that's why they haven't, right?
Or is it because some of the people in the new regime are actually in on the old regimes?
Yeah. No, it's passed down the torch, it looks like, for many years now. Many years, even before Tyra was there. All right. We'd already dug into so much money missing from that town. John, this is not the first fucking grant money they got for an augmentation pond.
Yeah.
The last grant money walked right the fuck out the door. That's why she thought she was going to get away with it this time.
With no investigation.
With zero investigation. Nada.
The lady just left Aguilar with $1 million, bro. Just left Aguilar with $1 million.
Oh, that's the one. Didn't she go to like Texas or something?
No, she only went right up north, right out of the county, bro.
Oh, she just went next county up and lived out the rest of her life until she died. You know? So
no
again, that augmentation pond should have been done long ago. All this has been happening for that long. And so all these people are either in cahoots. They can't be that ignorant. And they keep saying, oh, the CBI is investigating. The CBI is investigating. Yeah, they're doing a forensic audit. A forensic audit is not a criminal investigation at all. It will not yield criminal charges unless the DA picks them up.
Yeah, but the thing here is I think now we're talking two different DAs, right? If my memory serves.
They're all trash. They're all fucking trash, dude.
Yeah,
They're all
but
trash. They're all failing the people. All in all the areas that I'm in, at least.
well, you're not entirely wrong. I mean, and not for nothing, but this happens.
Show me a good DA, bro.
This happens. This is
Show
happening
me a good
everywhere.
one. Why? What? Okay, so why was I thrown out of Tyra's court? Just for observing?
Yeah,
That's
that's
fucked up.
funny.
Why didn't the DA tell him you can't do that?
You know what the funny
Why
part about
didn't
that?
they argue that fucking lawyer? Is my point, dude. Because the DA don't give a fuck. They're gonna sweep this shit right under the rug, bro.
They're
She's
gonna
gonna get
try
that
to.
diversion program that we talked about earlier was selling.
Well, and that was the important reason on having people in person there. So, I mean, that was, if we kind of figured that they would kick us off of Zoom, if not even like, or I'm sorry, WebEx, if not even show it over WebEx. But that was the point of having Robert go down there. Vern went down there. A couple of other people went down there to witness it in person. Now, unless it was a closed court hearing, they're allowed to be in there. I would love to have seen it if they kicked everybody out, though.
Well, that would have been interesting, but it would have
Well,
been what would have been more interesting because in that chat room there was a person from a certain news agency, and if they were allowed to stay and they booted everybody else out, that would have been real interesting.
Right?
I mean, what are they gonna do? It wasn't a closed hearing. Are they gonna make it a closed hearing? I mean, I don't really get it, dude. How they can just continue to hide this shit from the public? It is most definitely a public interest. It's public funds.
Well, I'm talking to my people over at Court TV, and I think I might have it to where Tyra's case will be put on Court TV when it goes to trial, if she doesn't take a plea deal.
Well, and there's multiple requests into the court for coverage. I know that for a fact on that shit, and I'm not one of them. I'm just laughing. Especially that last court date. That was nothing. If I was gonna want to see something, I'd want to see the trials, But I don't think we're gonna even see a trial. I think she's gonna get diversion and walk, And I don't think there's gonna be further charges on those people through the DA because he's not interested. He's shown that to us for years. Years. He showed that to us. I mean, we've given them and the sheriff's department all the evidence they needed, dude, including the hit on us. So,
Yeah, but that was under Solano, and that's what I'm saying. I think it's under a different DA. If I remember correctly, maybe Nick Dale.
yeah.
Lori.
And we'll see what happens because, I mean, I don't know. Well, are we going to see justice? I mean, dude, if you went and robbed a bank for $26,000, what do you think's going to happen?
Right?
What's the difference?
Well, and
But
apparently,
the thing is we all know sitting up here, we know it was more than $26,000.
Yeah, the three of us, most definitely, we've seen the evidence. We know factually. Yeah, we know. But I mean, what do you do? Again, they don't want to save themselves there. So he turned out gone. Nick
yeah,
Dale.
he's done, Lori. He's pretty much retired on his ranch right now, not worrying about nothing.
But he still loves us. He still loves us. So. I got recordings with that guy. I got recording guys. let's see, well over, I don't know, at least a good hour worth of recording of me and you people talking with this the old DA and explaining all this shit and wondering why he's not putting charges, and he never did. Um, I got one phone call where I'm cussing him out, dude, and he's telling me how much he appreciates my work. He threatened to hang up like 6 times if I didn't stop fucking cussing at him. I told him, fuck you, then hang up. I don't give a fuck. Hang the fucking phone up then, motherfucker. And he never did hang up, did he, you people?
No, didn't hang up. At the end of it, he was, "Oh, I love you guys. I love what you're doing." But
Yeah,
he don't do what we're doing. He don't hold the people accountable
right.
that need to be held accountable.
Yeah. That shit's crazy, dude. Like, it's crazy. But I mean, hey, at least, again, at least we got a couple charges, but we see so many people that have already been found guilty by the CBI's investigation, okay? But that's not criminal charges. That's my point here. We need to get to seeing these DAs representing for the people. If they're going to take you to court for your fucking taillight being out or you fucking didn't use your turn signal, why are the DAs not taking these people to court? Please, just anybody out there, tell me that, dude.
Well, I can tell you why. It's because they're all connected, and God forbid if you prosecute a judge's son or a judge.
Right, but that's RICO. See what I mean? If they're conspiring, then they need to be hit with RICO. 3 or more conspiring.
Later, Mile High.
So if what you say is true, then they are fucking conspiring against us and not charging them and intentionally charging us, right? Like when I got jumped and I beat that fucker's head in, I got charged for defending myself.
Yeah, they
Same
yeah, but
thing.
see, it wasn't just like they were like, "Hey, because you both were fighting, we got to charge you." No, we've got the body cam footage of them like seriously searching for something to charge him with. Like they were there for like 45 minutes just trying to figure out what they're going to charge TJ with.
Yeah.
That's hey, good citizen. Good citizen. Look at the bright side. It cost him $36 to get his head knocked in.
Right.
Oh, shit.
Right. I mean, dude, I already told him plenty of times, mutual combat, bro. We could have set something up, I would have even let him do a tag team match and shit, kept it a little more fair. And Robert wouldn't have to step in and slap the taste out of his mouth.
Listen.
And here's the funny part about that, because, we were talking about diversion program, right? The dude that initiated the first contact and physically assaulted you, right? And again, they charged the wrong guy with assault 3 because this guy was the guy that initially hit you, right? And pushed you to start the whole thing.
He was never charged. 100%.
He was never charged. And he
now, the DA seen the video. We can prove that 100%. They chose to not pick up charges.
But the fact is that he was on a diversion program, and had he violated on the diversion program, his charges would have been brought back. And remind me again, didn't they have gun charges associated with that? So
with his other charges?
Yeah.
Yeah, he had gun charges with his other charges.
Right. So whose best interest was it to go to jail that day? Was it in his best interest to go to jail, or the old man's best interest?
And again, it was conspiracy, right? Like that's 100% conspiracy. Even the body cam shows it, from the sheriff's department to those 2 that jumped me.
Well, not only that,
they even went as far as to say in the video, the whole town's going to have to fight me. And if I disappear in a fucking week, that's the threat they made to me before they got their asses whooped.
Hold on. And then on top of that, you have Johnson's supplement to his police report stating that he noticed that Isaiah assaulted you first, and still no charges were brought.
And let's not forget this, right? You were attacked based off of the fact that the wife and mother of those 2 worked at the town hall, which you were investigating, and on body camera, she's going, "I'm going to get those 2 motherfuckers." I don't think it gets any clearer than that. And when the DA sees all that and does nothing, there's an
Right.
issue.
That's the issue. That's where we're at right now, guys. The way I see it, we had Solano in there and he wasn't doing nothing. The sheriff's department doing nothing, you know. And it's the same everywhere we go. They're doing nothing. And the people in power that are supposed to be calling for these investigations aren't calling for them correctly. And the people are the ones that are getting screwed over, because again, I mean, that money that she took as an example, that wasn't that was everybody's money. That was the town's money, you know, public funds. So, and there was way more than that. So, are they
You
going to
know
pick
what?
up the charges on the rest of it that's missing? Because
You,
that's just
you, you know
small
what
amount.
gets me? You know what gets me about that though? There's no public outcry.
None. Not even celebrations in the streets, man. Bro, when she hit all those charges, I thought for sure they were gonna throw a fucking parade. Nope. Nobody even said boo. The town is only known across the globe because of her actions. They now know the town, but uh I
You
guess.
mean, you mean the possible ghost town of the
Right,
future?
right. That's what I
Well, I
mean. Like
will.
like they might be able to get some revenue in the future off that, because it'd be the ghost town.
I will say this: they are number one.
That's for sure.
Everywhere you go, they're being compared. They're being comparing
Yeah.
themselves with. We don't want to be the next Aguilar. We
Yeah.
don't want to be the next Aguilar.
Yep.
It's amazing.
Yeah, we hear it all the time. It's great, dude. And I mean that's nationally now. Like people are saying that to me nationally. Like, man, I don't want my town to end up the next Aguilar. It's like, well, yeah, dude, that's exactly it, Lori. That's my opinion on it as well. Is it's going to be a hazmat Superfund site in a bit because that's all yet to come, guys. They keep sweeping shit under the rug and keeping it from the public, and it's just not good. It all has to uh, end at some time. The Iron Curtain comes down, you know. So yeah, what's up, Johnny Bravo? Yeah, it's crazy, but I think in a lot of our situations here, in the cases we're dealing with, it's getting the DA just to pursue state charges and actually see it through to justice. You know,
What's
um,
up, Johnny?
that'd
Yeah,
be nice.
it would be, but I think it's few and far between. I mean, not only are we fighting fights out there, I'm fighting fights on the East Coast. Sometimes I have to, I end up doing stuff in other states, and it's a continuing fight, no matter where you are. And the problem is when you try to get the accountability, you get nothing. You can sit there, I mean, and
They
fight and fight and
they
fight.
bounce you around, John.
Yeah, it's every block that they can put in your way, they're going to.
That's all they do, just bounce you around.
You're not wrong.
you know, like I say, I don't know. My opinion is if we can get these DAs to start doing something, you know, uh, we're
I don't know. Maybe
if you're not going to do anything, then that's what we need to be working
well,
on
maybe
next.
people, maybe more people need to start publicly shaming these DAs.
Yeah,
Like Bullock is a prime example. He had a case recently where a guy, after 6 DUIs, a guy drives through a living room, kills a dog, right? DUI, and he gives him a slap on the wrist after 6 DUIs. This guy should be looking at jail time. Just an opinion, but I'd think anybody would agree with that. If you out DUI in 6 times and then you drive through somebody's living room, at some point there has to be accountability.
yeah, like him and Bullock meeting up late night, heading in the opposite directions. Shit happens. I'm just saying, dude. Like these people, you
Well,
keep letting people like that
and
go, dude, and those are on your community streets. These people are running your community.
you
I
know,
mean,
it's actually a pretty good scenario. But and here's the thing, right? And maybe it's me, but what if it was a member of Bullock's family that instead of driving through and killing an animal, and I'm not too necessarily too eager to even. I mean, that's just insane to me to begin with. But what if, for the sake of argument, it was one of his family members or a family friend, a really close friend, because he let this guy out with the slap on the wrist? Is the accountability going to come in then?
well, I mean, it was that guy's dog because he was let out with a slap on the wrist. See what I mean?
Oh, I agree. I
It
just,
wasn't this guy's first time, you
and
know.
that's why I say maybe it's time that people start publicly shaming their DAs when they don't go forward with charges. I mean, we saw that in Otero County, I think it was, with the Montano there, the one that sits on the or was sitting, Chamber of Commerce, right? Mike Montano,
And
where
yep,
he ended up causing the miscarriage of a baby. Um, and it took the public outcry in order for them to press charges. You know what I
right.
mean? So is that what we need to start doing? Because clearly nothing else is working.
Safety in numbers, that's for sure. Safety in numbers, you know. I mean, there's either enough people that care about the community to get it on the right track, and this goes for all the communities out there in my general area. There's either going to be enough that care about it, or there's going to be like Aguilar, where you know, five people out of 500 show up to say anything about anything. You know, if that. I mean, I see many of their meetings, nobody says shit. So, uh, all I can say is that if you're going to be silent, you're complacent, and in that they take advantage of that. If you're not speaking out against them, then they assume what they're doing is good enough. So, their safety in numbers. That's where protests come in, chalking, um, you know, um,
Again,
gathering
public
people
shaming.
in the masses and shaming the shit out of them. Yeah, signs. You know, same thing out there. I mean, I can't believe Fowler's not celebrating the fact that they got that lady out of there. That's ridiculous to me, dude. She was fucking over their community.
And what's worse is she's the mayor in Sugar City.
Right, and they don't care there either. Exactly. Why isn't there protests in the streets there? Not even 5 people. So that means Fowler and Sugar City are already worse off than Aguilar in the long run, guys. They're just catching up. Just saying. Just
Right?
saying. Can't
Well,
even
yeah.
5 people to stand up there, dude, and go protest, or 10 people or something, dude. You can't even celebrate in the streets when that shit happens, dude. Like, you guys are fucked. Because the whole point of this show is to explain to you that they're not going to check and balance themselves. Period. Doesn't matter what the fuck you do, what you say, how much evidence you give them. It doesn't matter. And we can gladly show the receipts, dude. Like it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter the agency. Until the people get pissed off and fucking stand up, nothing changes. It just continues on the same.
You're not
Right.
wrong. I mean, if I remember correctly, not too many live streams back, there was a woman that came up and she was talking about, the struggles that she's been having with, medical issues. And, a lot of it, in my opinion, is attributed to the water that she was drinking over the years that was no good.
Oh, and just to address Savage Broadcasting here, the Second Amendment backs the First Amendment.
What's up, Joko?
Safety in numbers. Second Amendment. That's what covers your First Amendment. So if I mean, it's un-American any other way, dude. I don't get it. I mean, people are just going to sit there and let these government officials rob them in their community blind. And I mean, like these numbers, some of these numbers that we're finding, this shit's going to affect generations, guys. It's not just a little $28,000 that somebody wiped their ass with. Some of these numbers and some of these investigations we're in right now are astronomical amounts of money. That's just walking out the fucking door, dude. And nobody cares. Nobody shows up to give a fuck, dude. I just don't get it.
They don't bat an eyelash because it's not
No.
their money.
But they'll all go with the narrative and go protest this or that or the other, right? That the narrative's being spit to them, but they won't deal with the shit right in their own fucking backyard, realizing that if everybody just dealt with their own fucking backyard first, then it'd be a lot cleaner. Just like that. You know? I mean, I don't get it.
Well,
Like,
it would be a lot cleaner and maybe a lot more stuff would get done if so many hands weren't in the cookie jar all over the place.
And all that money. Think of how much less, either less tax we'd pay or more things that would be actually done with our tax dollars.
Right?
Okay? I mean, Aguilar just received $110,000 or $130,000 in that back taxes from not getting their audits done. Where'd that fucking money go? Right? Like, there's no showing for it, dude. Oh, they did the roads, remember? The Huff Fund, they did the roads.
You mean the 60? I think it was $60,000 worth of crushed rock.
Like that was the bid, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was 60,000, and it was ended up being crushed stone.
Yeah. And I think they laid it on like one or two sections in town and called it a day, bro. And again, that's your guys' money, like, and nobody does shit, dude.
Well, and don't forget,
again,
we had
because they're all scared. Why? Because you can't organize fucking 20 people. I'd be pretty fucking scared too, guys. If I was any of you guys that couldn't organize at least 20 people to get your fucking house in order, you're in bad shape for what's coming. Okay? Understand that's a fact. You're in bad shape for what's coming because you're not going to do it alone. And if you can't muster up 20 fucking people right now to try to straighten shit out, well, you at least got a half-ass of a chance. Good luck in the future. That's all I can say about that.
Well, it's kind of crazy that even the town doesn't get upset. I mean, this tells me how many people are actually involved in probably, and apparently, supposedly, I'm not pointing fingers at direct people, but the people that were involved in it, involved in like sticking up for the government, they were told by Erlinda flat out that Mark stole money from a job that was supposed to be done, 2 jobs that were supposed to be done for that town that they got money in for, and only paid like not even a quarter of what they got in to get the job done. Right. And the job wasn't even done correctly.
And never reported it as a crime and never asked for an investigation as a crime, ever.
Right. I mean, you're basically told flat out that, yeah, this happened, you're getting stolen from, but nobody.
In a small town such as Aguilar with 500-ish residents, I mean, 30,000 here, 10,000 there, 60,000 there. Dude, that shit adds up, man. That town could be so fucking beautiful, man. Like, it could have all the amenities. These people are already paying in. We know what goes in and we know what goes out. Like the potential is 100% there for that town to be something. It's a hidden little gem right there in the foothills, beautiful, beautiful geographic location,
There is no reason, absolutely no reason that main street has as many empty storefronts as it does. There's no reason for it other than the fact that the buildings are old as dirt. And probably need to be brought up to code or something like that. But
think about
Bob,
it like this.
Bob
you know what they're making off from just a couple businesses' taxes that are there.
Right.
What would happen if just those buildings on Main Street alone that are boarded up actually were doing business? What would that do for the town?
Right.
That would like double or triple what it's got coming in. I bet you.
No
And
doubt.
and they have no interest in it. Zero interest in doing anything about anything in that specific town. These
Well,
other
let's
towns, they still have a little bit of a chance, but like I say, dude, if they can't get anybody to do anything, then they get what they allow.
I want to
let's
know. I want to.
let's play devil's advocate, because they have the mercantile and stuff like that, right? What happens to the town realistically if the mercantile pulls out, and anything else that they own, they just shut it down and just board it up and say, see you later, sayonara, I'm gone? Because that's tax money lost, right?
For Aguilar, yeah, if they shut down,
So with that in mind, wouldn't that just kind of bring the collapse of the town of Aguilar a
it
little bit
pretty
quicker?
it pretty much would. I mean, I think that they're basing their $5 million of assets off of Bob's shops there. I really do. I think that they're evaluating his stuff as
Yeah.
theirs, because there is absolutely no way in hell Aguilar has at least almost, I think it was like 5.9, like almost $6 million worth of assets.
Something like that, yeah.
There is no way that they have that much in assets. And even if they do have assets, they're not worth that much, because again, a lot of the buildings they don't use, they're pretty much dilapidated. Hell, their town hall is dilapidated. It's breaking apart, literally breaking apart in multiple places. Like, you've got the area near the front door about ready to collapse forward. So
Yeah,
And let's not forget
the back
the
of the building don't
88,
have no windows.
and
The
let's not
roof
forget
is rotted out. Like, dude, no, it's all in disrepair. And those are old buildings. They're historic. Like, there's grants for that shit, dude. Like, these people are literally fucking them in every direction in that town, dude. And the people are like, "Oh, but they're such good people. Don't talk about them. They got kids." It's just fucking hilarious to me, dude.
listen, that to me just seems like the embarrassment, because when you're number one in something, generally means you're no longer the runner up. You know what I'm saying? So, I
Don't
mean,
talk. The whole fucking United States is talking about her, dude.
yeah,
Are you kidding me?
it is what I know that friends out here have heard of her.
Right, dude. Got people from other countries like, what the hell happened? Well, she stepped in it finally. Life caught up with her, and they all have plenty to catch up with them still. I'm not giving up on that. I mean, we've got enough wheels in motion there specifically to shit's happening, but it's all these other places, man. It is a lot of work for us to try to keep up with on our own as three of us.
I tell you what,
hey, dude, like what? I mean, I need to put together 20 people to go out there and do the thing too. Like, I don't get it. I mean, because ultimately I travel around. This ain't my town no more than Aguilar's not my town. Any of them ain't my town. So I don't give a fuck. I mean, if the town don't give a shit, why do I give a shit? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not, just let them do what they do. Like, that's when I left Aguilar. That was the plan. The town wanted it the way it was, and so we let them have it the way it was. We straight ignored them. We stopped covering any of their meetings. We stopped acknowledging them. We let them fall right back into their ways, all while they were being under investigation by multiple agencies. And they did exactly as we knew they would. And that's what we tried avoiding years ago. We could have avoided all this. But now you guys got like worldwide embarrassment and shit. Now everybody across the globe knows Aguilar because you guys allowed that shit to continue to happen. It's weird. But
I tell you what, it's not a pretty sight when you Google Aguilar, Colorado anymore.
No, don't look good, bro. And there's millions of hits on it too, dude. It's crazy. Yeah. And that's what happens. And a lot of these other towns are heading in that exact same direction because they don't want to step up and do what's right. Right. And mainly like I keep saying, the DAs. We're seeing the DAs really lacking here. That shit's lackluster. You know what I mean? Like, nah, bro. The evidence is there through CBI, dude. Like, it's not like even evidence we provided, right? Like, it's through what should be a reputable source of evidence, you would think. And they're not doing shit because they're government officials, and that's what people got to stop. We got to stop these people from continuing to fuck us out of our rights and out of our monies and out of the futures. These towns all have a future, and like Walsenburg's millions in debt. So,
and his kind of what gets me too is I don't think people are looking past themselves. You would think that a mother who has children would be looking to the fact that what they're doing is not only crippling them now, it's going to cripple their kids, their grandkids, their great grandkids.
right.
It's a trickle down effect.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, $1 million ain't really all that easy for these small towns to come by like that. That's going to spread out over years and years and years because they're indebted it. Aguilar's example, even just we'll use that 28,000 as an example. Do you really think like that don't need to go back into the pot? Like that was part of the equation. It has to go back some way or another.
Well, hell, they're not even just financially in debt. They're in debt due to their water rights.
Everything.
Like everything.
Yeah, they owe everybody for everything, dude. They can't even get natural gas unless Walsenburg continues to sell it to them, and they're tired of selling it to them because they don't like to pay their fucking bills.
Yeah, we are right back maybe 4 years ago.
Yeah.
We are right back
to
where we stepped in.
And if I'm not mistaken,
you mean the 55,000 in debt to Walsenburg Gas?
Right, this thousand. Right. Hey, they're over at this point. Last I heard was over 30,000 in debt on the gas bill right now.
Right.
Yeah. And
maybe like Tyra, that was an overcharge. They weren't supposed to be charged that much.
Payments on it type shit, dude. It's like, no, you owe the debt. So the town of Walsenburg, and I'm not speaking for them. This is just my opinion, what I'm seeing. They're getting tired of floating the fucking bills for Aguilar. The system's fucked. It's taking more gas than what it's worth for them to deal with. And I mean, the gas department here in Aguilar runs in the black. It's good. It covers itself. Like, they have no need to deal with Aguilar. Aguilar doesn't understand that shit. Yeah, this stream was paid for by our sponsor, Samson. If you know, you know. Samson.
What up, Samson?
Yep.
Thank you, Samson.
All right, guys. We've been about an hour and a half, I suppose. But appreciate everybody. Got a chat full today. I appreciate you guys coming in. Putting your comments in there and shit. Because, yeah, that's the problem, right, Lori? There's safety in numbers. You got to get the numbers. You got to get out there. And you just can't be scared. That's bullshit, dude. All the way back to 1776, dude. I'm not going to give up my liberty for temporary security. You got me fucked up.
Well, and I don't want to give up my liberty for somebody else's temporary security either.
Right. So get with the fucking program is the point, right? Because, it's just the way it is, dude. That's the facts. It's big facts. They're, just like Johnny says, dude. Is that what it's going to come to? Is it fuck it? Fuck it, right? Like, that's what it came to in Aguilar, guys. Nobody gave a shit, and they didn't want to take action, so we said, fuck it. There's plenty of other towns to go expose, dude. This shit is everywhere. You know?
Well, hold on a second. We didn't just say fuck it. We had already set the wheels in motion for shit to fall into place the way it
Right, but
fell
to
into
help
place.
fix it. That was the plan, to help fix it.
Well,
Yeah,
we
we
tried.
definitely wanted to expose the RICO, but we wanted to get the water fixed. We wanted to get that infrastructure fixed. We wanted to get those steps fixed. We wanted to get the park fixed. There was a lot of things on our list that we had ways to help get that shit done too. You know, like we didn't get to any of that part of it. You know, showcasing what happens when you don't have the dirty government there and how the park's bathrooms are open and the fucking park's fixed and there's people fucking actually in the streets, not fearing for their lives. You see what I
Right?
mean? Like
Well,
that
and
was
we
the plan. And instead, they took it this way. And
well,
this
hold
way
on.
here, dude, it's
Hold on.
grim,
Hold
bro.
on. No, we got to be absolutely truthful. There was a short period of time where we had that and we thought that everything was going good. You know, things were moving. The bathrooms were open. There was people at the park almost on an everyday basis. Nobody was hiding. Like it
Right.
was a good point in
For a
time.
short
And
period. Yeah.
short period and then all of a sudden it flipped. The book closed. That was it. We stopped getting information. Everything went back to the way it was. Bathrooms closed down and nobody's at the park anymore.
Right.
And
Yeah, but
nothing's getting done.
and what was the common denominator with that? They ended up bringing in a new mayor.
Right. Right. The mayor that was supposed to be for the people and wanted to make sure that Aguilar became such a great place.
Right.
You know, it's funny because they seem to have forgotten for the people, by the people. You know, they forget that part of the oaths that they take and they swear to. But that's just
Yeah,
my
but
opinion.
it's not the people, it's family and friends.
Yeah.
And enemies, family, friends, and enemies.
Yeah.
That's the three categories that are basically out there.
Yeah.
Either you're a friend or you're family or you're an enemy. That's it.
Well, and
Period. The end.
there's a couple folks there that just ain't fucked with. They're because you can't whoop them. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna say names, but there's a few folks there in town they don't fuck with too much because they can't whoop them. You know what I mean? But that's like its own little separate kind of small clique. Like I had my way that way too. I walked around, did wherever the fuck I want, where I wanted, blah blah blah. But I wasn't part of any of those cliques. I don't think I didn't fit any of those boxes, but I definitely mingled with them.
Right. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, like I said, I think the whole friends and family thing needs to be looked at from a different angle, especially when those people are involved in your town, as far as how it goes, if it stays open.
Lori, they're not crazy. They're stupid.
Look, we all know there are so many times that they should have sent something to the state saying that there was a conflict of interest in some of the votes that they were taking, what have you. It never happens. They don't care because there's nobody's gonna do anything at the end of the day. That's the way they look at it. We're
Well,
safe.
I know we need to rein it in, guys. We need to rein it in. This First Amendment cockamamie bullshit. We went too far. We're at
It's
hour
funny
30
because
minutes and 42 seconds. That is out of line, out of order.
let me just say this. It's funny because we were talking about lawyers that may be wrapped into this whole thing with the Tyra ordeal. That that right there brings up another attorney that represented the town while all this was going on. Raises a lot of red flags as to the two attorneys and the fact that that attorney was on video coming out of a meeting that he had with the town administrator's father and mother. Wow, the implications that shows now that she's
Right.
been charged with a crime.
And we documented
Holy,
it. We did our part. We documented it. We're the only ones that have video of him walking out of there. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, we did our part, and sadly, the people there just couldn't do theirs. So,
And here's the best part, though, right? That raises the red flag, and not only to that, but to the fact that would give cause as to the reason why he wanted that cockamamie First Amendment tossed out,
right,
so that it couldn't be documented all the wrongdoings that were going on.
I'm sure that the board will probably ask for a criminal investigation into that.
Well, maybe
the Aguilar board has my full approval in everything they do. That's what the people want. They only do what the people want. So,
but it's going to be paid for by Samson.
It is. Everything's paid for by Samson, guys. We appreciate you guys being here. Thanks everybody for stopping in. Anybody who watches back, don't forget.
Night, folks.
Button, subscribe, ring the bell. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, check the mic, 1, 2, hear the flow supreme. This ain't a dream, it's the Constitution scheme. 7 articles laid the groundwork, no fakes, no fiction. But the people cried, where's the specific conviction? So James Madison stepped up, pen game was strong, said, we'll add the rights, that's where we belong. The Bill of Fates, amendments 1 to 10, that's the start. The OG guarantee, straight from the heart. Let's get it right now with Amendment Uno. Religion, speech, press, assembly, yeah you know, petition the government. Air out your grievances, say what you want unless you're causing serious deviations. True threats, Amendment 2, it's not for show, it's the right to bear arms. Militia needs protection, keep the nation safe from harms. The 3rd Amendment is the peace treaty for the crib. No force quartering the soldiers, get that on the rib. Number 4, police pull up, that's the search is easy. Stop, need a warrant, gotta have probable cause or that bus is a fly. 5th Amendment hits hard, that's the due process chain. Grand jury for serious crime or you walk in the rain. No double jeopardy, can't try you twice, that's a fact. And I plead the 5th, cause I'm not turning my back.
Find this banger on Good Citizen Media.
Knowledge is power.
Yeah, we got the flow, the constitutional glow. From 1 to 15, watch the knowledge grow, it's the supreme law. Yeah, it runs the whole nation, wrap these lines back. Perfect your civil education, know your rights, law. Don't ever sleep, the promises we made, the ones we gotta keep. From liberty to justice, or your fine will be. Amendments 1 to 15, can't be beat. We got the flow, the constitutional glow. From 1 to 15, watch the knowledge grow, it's the supreme law. Yeah, it runs the whole nation, wrap these lines back. Perfect your civil education. 7-6, I need my defense in a flash. Speedy trial by jury, lawyer for the legal crash. Gotta face my accuser, hear the charges read clean. The justice system working like a well-oiled machine. Number 7 in civil court, when the money gets thick. A jury trials, you're right, better learn all the tricks. 8th Amendment checks the judge, gotta keep it fair. No excessive bail or fines and no cruel punishments there. Like making you wear a tiny hat forever, that's just too much. Number 9 says my rights are more than the ones in his clutch. Just because it's not written doesn't mean it's void. Gotta enumerated rights, gotta stay employed. Number 10 lasted a bill, but holds massive cloud powers not given to the feds. Or what to stay from the bloom.
Share this with your friends and family. Rap along with.
Yeah. A lot of history, a lot of fights to get here from the start, but we kept building on that framework with courage in the heart. The next moves were big, fixing original flaws, stepping up the game for equal rights and laws. The Reconstruction era amendments, they drop with a boom, sweeping change for a nation emerging from the gloom. Check the score, Amendment 11, here's a legal tip. You can't sue a state in federal court, that's a long trip. Number 12, change the election for president VP. Separate ballots, no more tie drama for you and for me. Now listen close, cause these 3 are the core of the change. 13th Amendment drops slavery, reobeys the range. No more involuntary servitude, the shackles are undone. Unless you're locked up in prison, then the system is won. 14th Amendment stepped in, every on the scene. Granted citizenship, so all born here. Kept the slate clean, due process and equal protection are the headlines. All persons under the law, no more dividing lines. And finally, Amendment 15, the victory shout. Can it either rate the boobies, no race, pulling on the stops out. Color a previous condition of servitude, that ain't a block. The ballot box is open, put the power in your fly.
Yeah.
Yeah. 1 to 15 in the cut, that's a constitutional drill. Dope rhymes and knowledge, a history lesson, it's ill. Remember the Bill of Rights and the power that was freed. The supreme law of the land, planted like a seed. Now go forth and rap it, pass the knowledge on the street. Peace and protect your rights, keep the Constitution complete. Stick with good citizen media, knowledge is power, watch and see. You have rights, you have duties just like me. You have rights, you have duties just like me. You have rights, you have duties just like me. You have rights, you have duties just like me.
I'm nobody special, nobody important. I'm just somebody who has the knowledge.